Hi, it's day 63, and this is the coronavirus monologue. And my name is Andrew Smith. Is it too soon or to try some scams on coronavirus? I mean, I was thinking of going down into the subway and having a sign that says COVID-19 sufferer, and see if I could raise some money. But then, I mean, you don't have to actually have the COVID virus to be a sufferer, you know. And but then I thought if I did that in New York in the subway, nobody would come within 6 feet of me, and they'd have to throw money at me, and it's very hard to raise a lot of money if people are throwing money. They don't like to throw bills, is what I'm saying. But what if I had a sign that said, "I have coronavirus and I just got laid off"? Well, of course, in New York, uh, with this $2.2 trillion bailout bill, I mean, in New York, people would be asking you for money, you know. But anyway, nobody with any money rides the subways nowadays anyway. So, what am I talking about? It's just a lot of bums with the virus. It's very hard to raise money. You know, it's just not worth it. But hey, now don't tell anyone. But I just discovered something. Purell makes a great lubricant. Yes, that's right. Finally, I can do something with myself that'll make me pure. You see, call Father Quinn. But here's my question: if you masturbate with using Purell, is it still a sin? One doesn't know. Moving right along. Moving right along. Don't you think Governor Cuomo likes his coronavirus briefings a little bit too much? I mean, whereas Donald Trump hates them, you know, because he leaves in the middle. Imagine addressing the country and then leaving in the middle. I'm busy now. I got things to do. I have to go play golf, and he lets Pence, handle it. You know what I mean? And then when he's there, even he's just reading, badly, reading all that some statement that's been prepared for him. But I think it's very strange. But Cuomo can't shut up. Cuomo just loves it. And but it could occur to me that the reporting on this coronavirus is a little bit like an old-fashioned telethon. I keep expecting Jerry Lewis to show up and ask for a drum roll, and I mean, a drum roll for the latest case tally. But mark my words, I swear, when the cases of coronavirus start to decline, there'll be a little bit of disappointment in the voices of the reporters. Now, I never knew why New Orleans was called the Big Easy. Did you know that? It is called the Big Easy, but I never knew that until now. And I think it probably has something to do with catching the coronavirus. You see what I mean? And this is a thought. Do you realize that if baseball was bigger in China, if baseball was more of a bigger sport in China, then that Chinese guy that ate the bat, he would have come down with a case of splinters, instead of coronavirus. You see, if he'd eaten a baseball bat thing. Trump keeps justifying that he calls this disease the Chinese flu. I think he calls it the Chinese flu because he says, hey, that's where it's from. That's where it came from. But then it occurred to me, Donald Trump is from Queens, so maybe we should start calling him Queenie, and then he might see how it feels. He wants to open a lot of parts of the country by Easter, county by county, so that even the places that aren't infected can become infected and just as infected as New York and Los Angeles and New Orleans. But the Senate has decided to take 3 weeks off. Boy, that's convenient, isn't it? Thanks. It wasn't anything for you to handle, was it? But of course, I mean, did they ever hear sheltering in chamber, or something like that? But of course, this is now after Rand Paul has been hanging out with all of the senators and infecting them. Now they get on planes and fly home, and then they are going to have to fly back for an emergency vote, and which just means that it's true what the experts say: do not fly. There are too many senators on the plane. Now, Boris Johnson was just diagnosed and just tested positive for the coronavirus. So he's the first national leader who has come down with the virus, and he's actually also the first national leader with bad hair to get the virus. So if I was President Trump, I'd be worried, you know. But Trump keeps Trump keeps saying, America's got to go back to work again. I think that's just code for my resorts need to be opened again. And Massachusetts is graduating all of its doctors from medical school early. They're just giving them the degree and saying you're graduated in order to deal with this virus. So that means this country now has a president who's in denial and a bunch of doctors who skipped the final. Trump immediately called Boris Johnson, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, to offer his good wishes about his disease. And he gave him some advice, and this was the advice that Trump gave to Boris Johnson. Sun lamp. Yes, sun lamp. Because that way, no matter how sick you get, you'll always look better than anybody else standing around with you. Now, the big deal in America, because of this distancing, is this no contact deliveries that Amazon and UPS are doing, where they would never touch anybody who's receiving a package. There's a no contact thing. And even hookers now are practicing no contact sex. And customers say it's just like being at home. But if you listen to those briefings from Cuomo, he's complaining that he doesn't have enough ventilators, but Trump questions whether he really needs that many ventilators. And I think the problem is Donald Trump doesn't know the difference between a ventilator and hot air. And that, my friends, is the coronavirus monologue day 63. And I'm Andrew Smith.